Welcome to Bayou Time. I'm Jacob DeGate, and we're now joined via Zoom by Captain Brennan Mathern of Lafourche Parish Sheriff's Office. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks for having us, Jacob.
Okay, unfortunately, you have a tragedy to update us on. Can you tell us about what happened in Assumption Parish?
Yeah, and that's where we're going to start is with the end. And unfortunately, our search for a missing Thibodaux man ended tragically on earlier this week when we found Troy Michael John Lewis. He was a 34-year-old from Thibodaux. He was found with gunshot wounds and other wounds on Monday night. And this was actually in Assumption Parish. It was in the area of Supreme, which is north of Labadeville, about 10 miles northwest of Thibodaux. And his body was recovered around 8:15 p.m. on Monday night. And it was actually called in by just a concerned citizen who saw something floating in the bayou. Assumption Parish deputies responded, and we as well responded to assist and identified him as our missing man. Troy Michael John Lewis was reported missing on during the early morning hours of September 17th. We had been searching for him since then. We knew that he had gotten into a car on the evening of September 16th with a woman, and that car left from his residence, and he was not seen since then. So an autopsy was conducted yesterday at the Jefferson Parish Coroner's Office. So we're awaiting the full results of that as well. Obviously, with gunshot wounds and in other evidence surrounding the scene, detectives are moving forward with this as a homicide investigation. It's actually a joint investigation with the Assumption Parish Sheriff's Office at this time. It's unknown where the homicide would have actually occurred, if it potentially occurred in Lafourche Parish and then they moved his body to the area that it was found, or if everything did ultimately occur in Assumption Parish. So unless and until that's all determined, we're moving forward with the joint investigation. And Sheriff Craig Weber and his staff, obviously, we will be working together with Sheriff Leland Falcon and his staff. We've worked with them in many circumstances in the past, and we will look forward to working with them again as we try to uncover the details of this homicide that has occurred.
Okay, and if anybody out there, has any information, who should they contact about that?
Well, that's the easy part. Anybody that has any information should contact Crime Stoppers. Bayou Region Crime Stoppers is the area and the regional Crime Stoppers that serves our area. You can call them at 1-800-SHERIFF. That's 1-800-743-7433. You can download the Bayou Tips app. I see Y'all Graphic has the P3 Tips app. That will work as well. But you can get directly to us with our direct app. That's the Bayou Tips mobile app. CrimeStoppersBR.org is another way to submit a tip online. The key there is you can remain anonymous, and we're dealing with a homicide, and I can tell you that historically, our Crime Stoppers board ultimately votes to award $1,000 anytime that the maximum award of $1,000 anytime the crime of murder is the crime that someone is arrested for, if we get information that leads to an arrest. So we would encourage anyone that has any information, you're due in line for a potential max reward here if we can get information that helps lead to an arrest.
Yes, and hopefully you can bring some closure to that family as well, and do your part. So again, if you do have any information, please contact Crime Stoppers. Now, moving on a little bit to, not as tragic of news. Tell us about an event that the Sheriff's Office and all law enforcement agencies are going to be participating upcoming in the near future.
Well, Night Out Against Crime. This is the 40th year of the National Night Out Against Crime. Obviously, in Lafourche Parish, we used to do it with most of the rest of the country on the first Tuesday in August. A couple of years ago, we decided to do like everyone else has done around South Louisiana and the entire state of Texas, and that's move it to a much cooler climate in the first Tuesday of October. And so ultimately, we are going to hold our event this year on Tuesday, October 3rd. If anyone is interested in hosting one of the block parties that will be occurring around Lafourche Parish, we'd be more than happy to assist you with that. Deputy Melissa Simmons is our police social services deputy that organizes all of the events for Night Out Against Crime. What I would tell people is, and it's different everywhere. I know that your officers in Houma and Terrebonne and even Thibodaux, it's a little different everywhere you go. Traditionally in Lafourche Parish, we have a long parish, long, narrow parish. And so you have a ton of parties all over the place, from Thibodaux all the way down to Golden Meadow. And I think this year we're in line for about 20 different parties throughout the parish. And basically it's little neighborhoods and communities that come together, and they basically a lot of them do potluck, and they'll bring people together. People get together, they'll introduce themselves to their neighbors, and the sheriff's office is aware of all these parties. So we make sure that we try to have some deputies at all of these locations, so that if there's any concerns amongst neighbors in a neighborhood, that we can hear them. This is a great opportunity for you to get to know people at the sheriff's office, and for you to be able to speak one-on-one with a deputy in a time that isn't an emergency, a time that it's not maybe the worst day of your life when you become a victim of a crime, and so that you can kind of give us those concerns in a much better setting.
Yeah, and it's certainly a good chance to make some good contacts, between, both for the, sheriff's office contacts in the neighborhood, as well as, the neighborhoods to have contacts, who they know to call whenever, if they have some information as well. So that's this Tuesday, October 3rd. But thank you, Captain Mathern. We'll be back with more right here on HTV.